Kalala Yahalbashim Yahshabasham Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone, salute to you brothers teaching the word in sincerity and in truth. There will be a World War III. America will be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction, according to Bible prophecy. You're seeing it in your eyes. So here it is. Putin is going to call. I think he calls. So it's going to be NATO. He calls them Piglets. Now, you know what's just come to me. You actually got the acronym PIGS, which is a European one. So let's see. Let's play this, man.
In Minsk, as you remember, and then we were forced to include the military component because we understood that we were being deceived. Everyone believed that in a short period of time, as in Ukraine with the support of the West, we insist on the fulfillment of the promises given to us. We did not start the war in 2022. It was the destructive forces in Ukraine with the support of the West, just the West itself, that unleashed this war. We are only trying to end it, to stop it. Initially, we tried peaceful means, negotiations in Minsk, as you remember, and then we were forced to include the military component because we understood that we were being deceived. Everyone believed that in a short period of time they would destroy Russia, disintegrate it. And the European Piglets immediately joined this work of the previous American administration.
The European Piglets. You can't. The scriptures is the word of prophecy. So, they thought they would take. When you go to Jeremiah 50, which I'm going to read, it's talking about Russia. You always see the apostles do videos on it. Gog, you know what I'm saying? Gog, Magog. Yeah. It's talking about Russia. So, you had the fall of the USSR at one point, and then said, well, these people, they can't. Russia's, over with. But then all of a sudden, now you've seen Russia unified in this way, coming against NATO. You've got allies, you've got pigs, you've got BRICS, you've got Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. I think there's another one in there. There is another one in there. The eyes of another country as well. Then you've got you've got pigs, Portugal, I think Italy, Greece, Spain, but that's, I think you got economic poor countries, haven't you? But you got NATO and NATO. The beast are pretty much again with allies of UK, USA, are against Russia right now. The UK always going on about Russia, always talking on Russia, right? So he's called them piglets, right? So this is going to escalate. This World War III that's going on, it's going to turn nuclear soon. All right, so let's just play this.
In hopes of benefiting from the disintegration of our country, to return something that was lost in previous historical periods, and to try to take revenge, as it has now become obvious to everyone. All these attempts and all these destructive plans in relation to Russia completely failed. Russia has regained its status of full sovereignty. Russia has become in every sense of the word a sovereign country. We regained
check it in the ancient Rome. Yeah, they hadn't conquered Russia. Let's do this here. Let's see if I can do this. I need to go to Let me do it like this. Let me put it here. Okay, the Roman Empire. Let's do this. Want a map? Give me a second here. This is just a quick search. Okay, you had when Japhet were up in Europe, Greece, Rome, and you had when he got up in there, which is what this society models itself and loves, the pagan Roman Empire. I should put in pagan Rome. If you just look at one of these maps here, you can see. So they're in like France, Portugal, Spain, places like that. But you can see they're not up Russia. So you know what? Let's keep it moving. Let's do this. Jeremiah 50:1. The word that the Lord Yahweh or Yahweh Shai spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, Baal is confounded. Yeah. Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces. When you read Revelation 18, you've got a Babylon that John the Revelator was seeing, and that was the new Babylon, which is talking about America, the American Empire. I can type that in right now. It says, "For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast." So that northern countries, just talking about Russia, you can see Russia's all up north up there. And Russia's a mystery. What it was saying on that, actually. The Lord willing, I'll put it in a show. And actually, I should get the scripture that says, Lord, put the hooks in thy jaws. Because that will go into... let me jump down there. I might read back up. Jeremiah 50:9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. Alright? So this is what I think they call the East versus West Axis powers. Let's go back to this.
Gained this status, including to a significant extent with your participation, with the participation of the armed forces. The nuclear shield is more modern than the nuclear component of any official nuclear power. How modern is it? More than 80%? 92%? 92% modernity of our nuclear forces. Well, there is no such thing in any country, not in any nuclear country in the world. We have new means of attack, new weapons appearing. No one else in the world has this, and it won't appear.
So, this is real. This is what's going on right now. Okay, you know what? Let's read some more of this. Because if you didn't know World War III is going to happen, this is your proof right here. we know that a lot of major prophecies are going to happen before this year. But we always go into the mark of the beast. We talk on the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip, yeah. We always talk about it. Check this. Let's go here. Let me do this. Let me type in the maps. Let me type this in. Even put in Russia, yeah. Alright, let's do this. Let's go here. Okay, so all this is Russia. Let's do this. All that is Russia. Russia is big, so let's check this. These northern countries, or nation, this Russia. Let's check this world map, which is what you got the USSR. So you look at the world map, right, and you can see. So this nation up north is gonna get the USA in the Third World War. Alright, this is another good map. I don't want to go to. Yeah, that was not what I'm trying to do. Alright, let's do this. Let me type in this world map, because then, okay, the screen ain't working right now. I'll go see if I can. Alright, now it's working. Finally, I get a world map. So, look how big Russia is compared to the United States. They call it. So then you got Europe, and Europe and the UK are even smaller. I had to zoom right in. So that's why the UK and Europe have got NATO, which is a pact of all these European nations that if they're under any attack, they gotta band together and fight, and that's why this whole thing's going on with Russia. Because when you get one NATO nation, you gotta go for all, because they'll come, they're pacted to come against you and shit like that. And the USA is Babylon the Great. All right, we've done Revelation 18. We've done so much shows on that. Let's do this. Cause there's a lot more in here. We jump to the point. Jeremiah 50:14. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. That's the nuclear missiles. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she have sinned against the Lord. So it's gonna get nuked. Shout against her round about. She have given her hand Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of the Lord. So the Russia's saying, look at the tech we got. You ain't going to be able to stand against how we're getting down. And the Lord's with it, because the Lord set that up for it to happen that way. Take vengeance upon her as she have done. Do unto her. So the Lord is going to use the Russians and allies to take down America, Babylon the Great. Let me do this here. The USSR, or Soviet Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, was a vast single-party communist state in Eurasia from 1922 to 1991, formed from the remnants of the Russian Empire, encompassing 15 republics like Russia, Ukraine, and all that. So now Ukraine is fighting Russia and that. Now, let's do this. So they said the Soviet Union fell. But they said that, the Cold War, competition with the US and the strain of maintaining control over Eastern Europe. So they said the Soviet Union fell, it ain't going to come back. People's always saying that, that fell. But that's not what the case is right now. Let's do this. Let's do this. Ezekiel 38:1, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord power, I'm against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back, and put hooks into thy jaws, and will bring thee forth, and all thine army and horsemen, horses and horsemen, and all of them clothed with all sorts of armour, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. So he's going to go into it. So the Lord's setting him up for war. That's why he's come out and said that. Let's do this.
No one else in the world has this, and it won't appear soon. I meant...
That's what he said. He said it. You ain't got what we've got. Let's pull that back a bit.
92%. 92% modernity of our nuclear forces. Well, there is no such thing in any country, not in any nuclear country in the world. We have new means of attack, new weapons appearing.
So you're saying we got this, we're just ready. Let's do this. Let's go to let's put in Gog. Land of Gog. Let's see what it. AI overview. The land of Gog refers to Magog, a place mentioned in the Bible as the northern homeland of Gog, a prophesied leader who will lead a massive invasion against Israel in the end times, often symbolizing forces of evil. While the precise location is debated, Magog is linked to ancient northern Eurasian peoples, possibly Scythians associated with modern Russia. So this overview has identified that it's an end time prophecy. Alright, and it's synonymous with Russia. I'm trying to get maps. What? Check this. So you got that.
Not in any nuclear country in the world. We have new means of attack, new weapons appearing. No one else in the world has this, and it won't appear soon. I mentioned them. We know it's the Vanguard and the Storm Petrel. The troops are completely different, and they are invincible. Such an army does not exist in the world.
Yeah, what you're saying. So they're geared up for war. They're ready for war. They're ready to go at it. And that's just Putin and them got a rougher spirit. You got Trump. He's crazy. They're gonna bring that new world order, that World War III, all of that, all this chaos and all this. At least I'll draw them out. What are they gonna do? You know, because eventually the UK and NATO are actually going to turn against America. So what are they going to do? Okay, let's do this. Ezekiel 38:5. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them. So you got Persia, Ethiopia. So you got Iran, and Iran are like they're completely against. They are completely against the USA. Same with Ethiopia and then Libya. With them, all of them with shield and helmet. Goma and all his bands, the house of Togarmah and of the northern quarters, and all his bands, and many people with the allies. And China, right? Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's raised up that spirit in him. Would have said, "Oh, the USSR is broken up," but you can see clearly that that's not the case. And if everyone mocking it, there were people going, "Nah," until they started seeing certain things happening. Let's do this.
Does not exist in the world. It simply does not exist. Yes, the armed forces of Ukraine are going through the crucible of military actions, but unfortunately for them, the Ukrainian statehood is collapsing. It can be seen by the golden toilets. Similarly, the armed forces are degrading. This is indicated by the increasing number of deserters. Only criminal cases for desertion in Ukraine are over 100,000. and the number of deserters is calculated in hundreds of thousands overall. This is a sure sign of degradation. Our armed forces are on the rise. We, as before, are ready to negotiate and are ready to resolve all the problems that have arisen in recent years peacefully. The administration of the United States of America demonstrates such readiness, and we are having a dialogue with them. I hope the same will happen with Europe. I want to thank you for the combat work of 2025 and express confidence, hope and confidence that all the tasks facing the country will be solved.
So this is updated wars and rumors of wars. Let's put that in, because that's what's going on right now. You got all these different, you got this Ukraine thing going on, you got the Palestine thing going on, got all this stuff going on. Matthew 24:6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumours of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Still got the mark of the beast, where the elites try to chip everybody on the planet. Yeah. And then the war's gonna go to a nuclear war. Russia, I'm typing in Russia. The spirit said not Russia right now. Okay, this is talking about Babylon the Great. Revelation 18:1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. The American Empire, let's put that in. Let's do that. I wasn't gonna do that, but let's just do. American imperialism is the excess of power or control by the US outside its borders. The US expanded its territory initially via conquest, later shifting to controlling influence in other countries. Oh, we're going to do this. Yeah, look at this. This was a tweet. The Pax Americana, they emerged that after World War III basically ended. It was American. I'd have to read that. It was Scott Trump with the eagle on him. The scriptures talks about things like that. Swift as the eagle flieth. That symbol, Rome had it, America had it. Different, the Edomites like that, like the symbol of the eagle. Okay, that's two. Is this the fall of the American Empire? May 23, 2025. The American Empire has enjoyed total dominance on the world stage despite only having 4% of the world's population. So, you type in the American Empire, things come up. Let's go to images here. Well, you had the British, the English, the American, came from the British. You had the British Empire at one point, but now the Americans are bigger than that. They got which they're owned by Britain, they're owned by the Rothschilds, but the kind of which we know where they get their orders from. But then they're doing their own thing. They're running the show. They're running the world. The Britain don't have it. Ain't the British Empire anymore. But I'm just saying that when you read about the mother, it says the mother shall come against you. So we're just showing you prophecy here. America is Babylon the Great. I might do a show on this. I don't think I'm gonna wrap this one out. Shall I read any more? Yeah, let me get this. The doom. Look at the top. Says the doom of Babylon, Revelation 17:1. So when John the Revelator, you had the beast system. You had the beast with 7 heads and seven horns. So the woman that was on top of the beast, and that America is. It's just obvious. America is the fall of. They call it the fall of the West, but it's the fall of all of these kingdoms. And you know what, you got scoffers, agents, demons, and that because it's going down. That's why you got all this going on: scoffers, agents, demons, and all this sort of stuff. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 veils, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-coloured beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet colour. So check this. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. That's the nuclear missiles. There's nukes all throughout the scriptures. World War III, nuclear destruction. For what does it say in Malachi? Is it Malachi? Malachi 4:1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. So that destruction is going to come via World War 3. But with that, I'm going to say Shalom.